Welcome to Patty's Place, a place where we'll talk about grief, dementia, and caregiving. I started this podcast in honor of my mom, Patty, who passed away from dementia about 2.5 years ago. So I want this to be a place where you can feel like you're not alone and learn some good things to help you through this struggle. So grab your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, if you're having that really bad day, a glass of wine, and let's get started. So today I'm excited. We are talking to Dr. Fred Rouse. He has spent 40 years inside the financial services industry as a certified financial planner with a PhD in taxation. But in 2022, he voluntarily gave the credential back. He's also a 9-time best-selling author and a Vietnam-era Coast Guard veteran who spent 3 years running search and rescue. But today he teaches people over 50 how to recognize when someone is not on their side, and he works with families dealing with the part of dementia and grief nobody warns them about, which is what happens with the money. So welcome, Dr. Fred.
I appreciate you having me here.
Yes, this is a very, very good topic because it's very overwhelming. Dementia itself is overwhelming, but then you got to deal with all that financial part. So let's start with, so you spent 40 years in financial services and then you gave the credential back. What did you see that made you walk away?
After 40 years, again, the last 28 of as a certified financial planner, and I started out selling products, but the industry itself was not set up for people. The industry is set up to self-perpetuate. And it just generates commissions for them. And it was pretty much irregardless of what happened to the people. And I primarily work on the retirement side of things. And people that I worked with, no matter what I did inside that standard financial practice routine, just wasn't doing anything for them. And by the time they hit age 50, 55, 60, they really didn't have enough money to retire in any way, shape, or form. And so I had to do something different. I just this is it, 6, 8, 10% a year is what the best you're going to do for somebody. And that's not working for them. So I went out and did something different.
Okay. All right. So what you started, you've written, you're a 9-time best-selling author. So you have some current books as well too right now?
The most current one is, it's terrible. It runs together after a while.
Exactly.
Yeah. Retirement isn't optional. Enjoying it is.
Well, yes.
And it's an interesting book. It could be of some interest to your people, but I think there's other things on their mind when you're stuck in a situation where you've got family that you're trying to take care of, and you're taking care of your own family yourself. The books are nice, and I had a good time doing them. Producer a number of different, award-winning videos, documentaries, but that doesn't help your folks. Okay. Your folks are stuck in a situation where things happened. Didn't expect them to happen, but things happen. Now they're stuck taking care of a parent or two.
This is true. So you mentioned, you say the money goes before the diagnosis does. So what can we talk a little? I understand what you're saying, but can we expand on that a little bit?
Certainly. What happens is parents are fine until they're not. And then what generally happens is that the closest person, who's generally a daughter, has to take care of these things.
Exactly.
You were there. You understand exactly what goes on. And there could be other family members, but you're the closest, so you're expected to do these things. Well, you've got your own life to begin with. And most women, by their nature, are caregivers to some degree and take care of the household, the family, and their needs come last. It just works that way. It's not supposed to, but it does. And here's your parent, and oh yeah, mom's, she forgot my name, and it's cute for a little while, and then she forgot the kid's name. Well, that's sort of cute. She's just getting a little older, and then things happen, and it's getting more progressive, and you don't know what's going on, and then you stop over one day, and either the mail's piled up, or it's actually opened, which doesn't happen too often, and there's 2 and 3 months worth of bills stacked up there. And so it's the mail that gives it away. When the mail piles up, then there's a problem, and then you recognize, oh, well, this was cute before, but there's something serious going on right now.
And I think also what happens too is that in my mom's case, I think my dad started to notice that because my mom used to pay all the bills, but I think he did start to notice. So then he just started taking over paying the bills because he had a very hard time accepting that something wasn't quite right. And I think when because my parents were married over 50 years, so I think you also have that issue where like you see something with the one and then you have the other one not quite ready to deal with it. So, they're taking over that side of it. But also, why is someone in early dementia the most exploitable person in the country?
In your own situation, your dad didn't handle the bills on a routine basis. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. There's generally some type of differentiation between who handles what in the household.
Right.
And that's accepted over a period of time. But when you notice there's a problem and then you're trying to take care of those things, now you're outside your own wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at some point in time, you go looking for some outside help. Well, being a senior itself is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Being a senior in these days, is dangerous because what happens is, you did everything right for 30, 40 years. And now here you are at age 50, 60, 65, 70, 75. And the money is not really there the way everybody told you it was going to be there. So you're already cutting back some on your lifestyle. And then because of that, money is not my thing. I need some outside help here. And so you go looking and you look for advisors, basically. And you don't want to burden your family with those things. So you check out advisors. Well, the industry is really, really interesting in that when you're at that age group, they're the easiest ones to sort of persuade. And they're not necessarily working on your best interest. Again, they're working in their interest. Mm-hmm. And that tends to be a little bit of a problem. And you're stuck in a house and you're stuck with your loved one who's trying to take care of things that are outside of the wheelhouse to begin with. And you're really not certain. And you feel shame, you feel guilt. I was doing all this stuff before, and now my poor spouse has to take care of these things, and they shouldn't have to do those things. And then here you are as a child walking in, and God, I didn't want any of this stuff to happen to my folks, but now it is. Now what do I do? And all of a sudden now they're really, really exposed to outside people that they would not normally see at all.
Well, in one instance, with me and my dad, my mom and dad had both done the power of attorney, and that I had it long before she had gotten sick. So my dad and I were at the bank, and we were like trying to figure out stuff because my mom was on my account just as a name, and of course my mom and dad shared an account, and I was on a few of the accounts just because they want it in case of emergency type of a thing. Well, we were going to do, I forget what exactly it was. We didn't know if we should take her off of the accounts or not, And they were like, well, we need to talk to her. And we brought the power of attorney at the bank. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, she has dementia. And I was like, I could sit right next to her and tell her exactly what to say. She does not understand. And they were like, well, we still need to talk to her to protect her. And I'm like, so my dad and I were like, okay, just forget it. We'll just leave her on the account. It was so frustrating,
Everybody's got their own little things.
Yeah.
And they think they're working to protect somebody, and they're really not.
No.
They're there to protect themselves.
Right.
And to get somebody off an account, it's a challenging thing. And, if she's there and nothing happens, that's fine. But if she's there and somebody gets hold of her and they get her to sign things, which happens quite often,
right,
then there's a problem because the money just disappears. And you don't know about it until after the fact.
Right. Yeah, so it is. It's like people think they know what dementia is, but then when it comes to the financial part, they don't understand. Like she was not capable of making any of those decisions with it. So like luckily too, my dad went and updated his will and everything because he didn't want something to like if something had happened to me, she was the first, obviously it went to her and then me, but he put it in there because he knew if something had happened to me and she was still there, she wouldn't have been able to understand anything. So he moved it, to me on it. He thought about all that because he knew she's not capable of it at the time.
There's a lot of last minute estate planning that happens at that point in time. And, the wills are fine. If things are in a trust, it's even better. because it's easier to change trustees than it is to change a will. Okay. But again, every time you do another legal thing, it involves more outside people and
Right.
more expenses and more time. Well, you have your own family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to take care of your family too. And you want to take care of your folks. You want to help out as much as possible. But your life is already short on time. People don't understand. At age 50 plus, okay, it's not the money, it's the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Money you can make, but you can't change the time.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. What are you going to do with your time? What do you want to do? Okay. How is it best for you to spend your time for you? And as a caregiver, as part of the family trying to help out, you don't have much choice at this point in time. Your personal life is pretty much trashed.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of your life now goes to your parents taking care of the situation. And it wasn't intended, but your life is on hold for 1, 2, 3, 5 years or more until that person passes.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you're not right for the next year or two.
No, you are not.
And people don't understand that at all.
No, they really don't. And then also the cost, like you said, you try to plan for retirement because you have this idea that, oh, I'll retire, I'll be able to travel, do kind of what I want. But my dad and I were shocked at how much memory care costs. And this was, we went to a private, because you either have to do the Medicaid or you have to do private. And my dad was paying $7,000 a month for that. He cut back on a lot of things to be able to, so she had the good care, but you're just shocked by it. Like, how do people pay for that?
Most of them don't.
Yeah.
And if you've got it planned right,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Medicaid is when you're broke.
Right.
But you have to plan for that 2 or 3 years ahead of time to make certain that you're broke on paper.
Right.
And you can still lead a reasonable life. Okay? And if you can find somebody to help you do that, that's great. But those people are far in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cost of those people is also expensive.
Yes.
So you're coming up short every which way.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable how expensive memory care, even assisted living care, is. And it's not any cheaper if, I've had friends where they've brought caregivers into their houses, but they're still paying. So it's still not, it's not cheap at all to try to take care of somebody.
A stranger in your house.
Yeah. Plus you have a stranger in your house.
No, I don't.
Yeah. And it doesn't always work with dementia either. So, let's say if you have in here that, like, what happens to a widow in the first 90 days and why does it happen then? Especially if it's somebody who, like, never paid the bills.
First, week, 2 weeks is it's terrible. It's rough. Mm-hmm. But all the neighbors are coming over with food.
Right.
And everything's, they're there to help and support you as best they can.
Right.
And you're still stunned. You're my parents just died. Okay. And now I got all these people. I mean, I like you, but so many people stay away from me.
Exactly.
Right? Am I missing this?
Right.
Because at age 50, your circle is relatively small by choice.
Yes.
When you were 20, you didn't know somebody was so crazy until you spent some time with them.
Right.
But at age 50, oh no, you're crazy. I can tell it. It's okay. Just do it over there.
Exactly.
Okay. This is my space. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody wants to come in and show their condolences and see if they can help, and they really can't help. But, it's the thing to do. It's a social thing.
Right.
And that's okay. But then what happens is 3 or 4 weeks out, all those people disappear now. You're there with an empty house. And you're stunned, what the hell just happened to me?
Mm-hmm.
My parent just died. Okay. All their bills are stacked up here. Had all these people come over. They messed up my house. Okay. I got to clean up now after all these people trying to help out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now I'm here. I'm halfway cleaned up. I returned all these dishes and Pyrex things. But, now what the hell do I do? And at that point in time, you're feeling guilty because, you're happy that they're passed to a degree.
Right.
Okay. And it's a lot of relief. But now, what do you do at that point in time? Okay. And that's the hard part because now you've got all this free time, and your life hasn't come back to you yet.
Right.
Your life is still on hold. And people that are not there, they just do not understand it. It's a lived experience.
It truly is.
Unless you live that experience, you just do not understand it.
No, you really don't understand it, because yeah, you're trying to take care of them, and then it isn't just, you have that physical part where you're actually there caregiving, but then you have all this other stuff to take care of, like the finances, like, when you start to go through all their things and stuff like that, you may find bills that you can't read. Like, what are some of the most important things that somebody should look at to take care of with that if they're trying to take over someone's finances?
It's important to track down the statements, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts with the mail. You've got to go through the mail. And you've got the mail in one hand with these pile of things that appear to be due. They may or may not be due because now that person's passed on.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be responsible, depending on how things are set up.
Right.
Okay. For past bills. I mean, you got credit card bills, and this person's now passed on. How obligated are you to pay the credit card bill? I don't know.
Right.
Okay. That's something for you and your attorney to pick up on. Okay. And that's the thing, because you're settling on how much cash is left now.
Okay.
And it's a big thing. How much liquid cash do you have? Assets are fine, but assets are just that. They're pieces of paper. They say that there's some value there. Stocks, bonds, real estate, lovely things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need cash, those things don't help you. You can't go to the grocery store or to the funeral home. The funeral home where took their money because they get the life insurance signed over to them immediately.
Right, right.
So they're halfway covered.
Right.
But you still need things to take care of the rest of the household. What are you going to do with the house now?
Right.
Do they still own the house? How much of a mortgage is there? Do they have mortgage insurance on it or not? You don't know any of that stuff. And even with the best laid plans, okay, these things could all be scattered in different places.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going through the house, you're going through clothes, you're going through dishes, you're going through old tools, if it was dad's stuff. Okay, where's their stuff at? I'm from an Italian household, and they used to hide money all the time. Always hid cash someplace.
Right.
So you're going through stuff, and here's a coffee can. There's no coffee in it. There's a couple $1,000s in there. Well, that was interesting.
Right.
It's part of the thing.
Right.
And then you get the rest of the family coming over, and I don't know how it was for your family. Okay. My family was interesting when my grandparents passed, and everybody comes in, and they start putting little stickers on things with their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearing out the house already. Well, she said I could have that. He said I could have that. And here you are, you're trying to take care of things,
mm-hmm.
and you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
You were there the most. And now the older brother says that he's entitled to this, or the older sister says she's entitled to this, or the younger sister says she's entitled to that. You're the one who's doing all the stuff. They weren't there.
Right, right.
They came at the last minute. Okay. And now everybody's got their hands into things. But sorry to say, when there's money on the table, people get ugly.
Yes, they do.
People don't believe it's going to happen, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. If you can set things up ahead of time, that's great. If not, you're trying to clean up after the fact, and those statements mean a lot, because those statements do represent some type of asset
mm-hmm.
that now you have to convert to cash generally. And so it's a really complicated thing to do. And again, people look to outside sources for help.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets to be a problem because you don't know who your outside source is going to be.
So let's say that they have it, maybe they do some things online. I have a perfect example. My dad has been in and out of the hospital the last few months. And so he pays his credit card. He calls on the phone. And of course, I'm on his bank accounts, but I'm not on his credit card. So they wouldn't tell me the balance because I'm not an authorized user. I understand that, but I'm trying to pay his bill. So it is quite frustrating, or even like to log in to a bank account, I'm still not on his. So like what should somebody do when they're trying to take care of these things? Like a credit card, for example, if you're not on the credit card, how do you find out the balance? Because they won't talk to you.
You're sort of screwed, sorry.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Right.
Even if your spouse was on a credit card, unless you're on the card, they're not going to let you know anything.
Right.
It's very strange. And when you pay it online, that's great for them.
Right.
But here you are, the caregiver, you've got no paper trail.
Right.
You have a bank account, and, oh yeah, the money went out. For what? Because now they don't want to send out statements anymore.
No, they don't. It
costs the money to send out statements. So it's all online. So unless you've got all this stuff coordinated ahead of time, you don't know what that ahead of time actually is.
No, you don't.
That's part of the problem. These things just creep out of nowhere. It doesn't happen bang overnight. It just creeps, little things at a time. And you don't notice it until you got a full-blown problem. Something's not right, but I don't know what. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
You do that for a month or 2 months, and then it compounds and gets worse and worse and worse. And then you're sort of stuck. And now it's almost too late to get information from these people, your loved ones, basically, to track down every single account that they have is difficult. You have to go through their wallet, every credit card that they actually have in their possession. And you got to look through the drawers where the credit card's there. Okay, that they used once, and now they've got a subscription. They just keep paying. They don't know what this thing is for, but they're stuck with a subscription. It's endless. So you got to get all the credit cards, find out who owns what, and then is this an online account? In today's world, it's very, very difficult. You got to get with that person while they're still cognizant of what's going on, and then do they trust you that much?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're their daughter. Yeah, you're their son.
Right.
But this is my stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they don't want to let go.
No, it is hard. And so, like, for my dad's situation, it was either I said, you either have to add me onto the account. I don't want to use your credit cards. I just want to pay these while you can't pay them right now. I said, or if you're still getting the physical bill, because he likes to get, the physical statement, then okay, I go, then I can write the check. That was okay because I'm on the bank account for it, so it's frustrating. So what does somebody do, like, say, if their loved one is passed already, do they have to show the death certificate then in order to pay that? Will that work, or?
You might, if they were liable for the bill and they're passed, guess what? You're not liable for the bill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But so what happens?
You can check with an attorney on that one, and you probably should.
Okay.
But if they were on the account, there are open bills, they're unpaid, they've passed, there's no way for them to collect now.
So even if you're say you're the executor of the will, that you're not responsible for that, like, what will happen?
You want to check with an attorney on that one to find out. But for all intents and purposes, those bills have stopped.
Okay.
The obligations have stopped. Now, if you're the executor, how much are they going to come after you for?
Okay.
They're not going to come after you. They're going to come after the account.
Okay.
Okay. So they can't get to him, but do they have an estate there? What's in the estate? How big is the bill? And if it's $100, $200, maybe $1,000, $2,000, how much are they going to chase for $2,000? It's going to cost them $3,000 in attorney's fees.
Right.
Just to file anything. Okay. Is it worth their time or not?
Okay.
A number of things will drop off.
Okay. But it's always good to check.
But again, it's important to check.
Right. Check with the attorney.
It all depends on how the estate is set up.
Okay.
Because if it's a will, then there are things in the will. If it was a trust, all of a sudden now nothing's in the will. Because the will is only there to transfer property.
So what's the difference between if you said something I'm going to trust as opposed to somebody just writing a will?
When I was practicing, and I still have a few clients right now, I handed over the entire practice almost 10, 15 years ago. Just gave it away. Somebody had to work in the past. But I would routinely set up a trust.
Okay.
And all the assets were placed inside of the trust.
Okay.
And the trustee would then be responsible to take care of things. They had a will, but the will covered anything that was not inside the trust. And if there's something not inside the trust and I pass, I want to transfer to the trust.
Okay.
That way, the will was basically a useless piece of paper because there were no assets to transfer.
Okay.
All the accounts, all the real estate, all the large assets were all already in the trust.
Okay.
And that's the critical thing because now it's easy to transfer a trustee.
Oh, okay.
Trustee is easy to change.
Okay.
Piece of paper.
Okay.
It's an internal document.
Oh, okay.
Versus a will, which is all probated now.
Yes.
It goes to the county. Everybody's looking at it.
Okay.
Trust is a very private situation. You've got much more control over a trust.
Oh, okay. Those are things people
much more control.
So let me ask you this. So we're talking about the property and your parent dies and or your spouse dies or I should say your parent dies. We'll go with that one. And the house is in their name. You were not on the deed, but they still owe a mortgage. So and of course the bank won't talk to you because you're not on the account. So how do you handle that?
At that point in time, you go in an appropriate situation. Okay.
Okay.
The house is now in the will. Hopefully there is a will.
Right. Okay.
If there's not, that creates another problem by itself.
Okay.
But now, who's it go to in the will? Who's the executor of the will?
Okay.
That person now responsible for this thing. And you want a shit ton of death certificates.
Okay.
15, 20 of them. Get them all.
Okay.
Because everybody's going to be asking for one.
Okay.
Any asset that is out there, not inside of a trust, out there by itself, in that person's name, they're pretty much going to want a death certificate.
Okay. So if you present...
Which means all the cars and anything else, all the vehicles.
Right. So if you present the death certificate, say, to the mortgage company, and do you have to show them that you're the executor, and then will they talk to you?
At that point in time, they may well talk to you, yes.
Okay. Okay. With that.
But again, do you want to show everybody all that paperwork every time?
Right.
So if you can get things done ahead of time, that's ideal. All this after the fact stuff is twice as much work with half as much result.
Yeah. And how do you approach if your parent... I was lucky. My parents, we had some family members go through some illnesses, and so that prompted them to do like powers of attorney for healthcare, for finance, and do the will. So I was lucky in that way. But what's the easiest way for someone to approach their parents or even their spouse or that to say, hey, we need to set this stuff up? Because again, you could be in your 30s and this could happen to you.
Yes, it can. And this is the part of life that nobody wants to talk about.
Right.
Now, when you're 60 and 70, you know you're going to die at some point in time. You know, when you're 30, you don't talk about it at all.
Right.
When you're 70, hey, I know I'm not going to live forever. Now, how they want to handle it is a different situation. And it's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to die at some point in time, and we should take care of these things. But actually doing them is a very different situation.
Yes.
Acknowledging that the problem exists is one thing. Handling the problem is something totally different. Yeah, I'm 70. I know I probably shouldn't be driving as much. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Give me your car keys.
Right.
No.
No. I'm driving local. It's okay. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, that's just a car.
Right.
What are they going to have with their bank accounts?
Exactly. Yeah.
If they got any brokerage accounts.
Right.
If they own actually real estate. No. They understand the problem. They just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
And so as you know, caregivers are stuck in a really bad way. And you mentioned, a glass of wine ahead of time when you started this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Really more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know what you're going to do is right. It's not for you, it's for them. And they fight you every step of the way.
Yes, they do.
They acknowledge the problem. Well, Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But they're like kids.
They are.
How many times do you tell a kid to do something? Yeah, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, but it never gets done.
Right.
They just changed. Now it's your parent doing the same thing to you. You did to them when you were 12.
Right. Yeah.
Things change.
Right.
Comes full circle.
Exactly. So the best thing is if you could try to talk to them. Obviously, to talk before something happens, but a lot of times it doesn't. So then what does a caregiver do? What if they don't have a power of attorney? What can they do then?
Okay. You're stuck behind the 8 ball.
Okay.
Big time. Because outside of physically taking care of them, physically taking care of the household, along with your household and your health to some degree, which is starting to deteriorate quickly because of all the stress.
Right.
Okay. Now you're playing catch up on a situation where you can't catch up.
Okay.
If it wasn't fixed ahead of time, your chance of fixing it drop off every day that goes longer.
Okay. So what would you suggest?
It's a time situation, it's like retirement. If you don't fix it early on, your chance of fixing it later on drop off every day because time is working against you. So their health situation is working against them.
So what would be the first thing that you would suggest somebody does? Obviously go through their mail and everything, but what can they do if they don't?
If they don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. How badly do you want to do these things, for starters?
Okay.
Because it would not be the first time a kid had to go in front of a court and declare a parent incompetent.
Okay.
That's an ugly thing to do.
Yes.
I guarantee you, absolutely guarantee, it will raise all hell in the family.
Yes.
And you'll be the most evil son of a bitch that ever existed.
Yes.
The devil will be better than you.
Right, right.
Okay. And so here you are, you're stuck, you're trying to help. Your parents are fighting you every step of the way, and now you get your family fighting you also. And when you say, okay, you do it, they all scatter.
Yes, yes.
They all scatter. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody want to give it to you, but nobody's want to do anything.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Lovely feeling to be it, isn't it?
Yeah. So what does somebody do then, obviously, after the parent has passed and then there's fighting? If their parent did lay it out and say the money or the house or, they wanted to give it to certain people or that, then what do you do if you're the executor?
Understand. When there's money on the table, people get ugly, especially family.
Yes.
Especially family. You would never believe it 10 years ago, but after it happens, people get amazingly ugly. And if you're the executor, you want to try and do it as hands-off as possible and try and blame it on somebody else. And so you look to bring some outside sources. Well, I'd like to do that, but this other person said this. And when I worked with clients way back when, I always told everybody, I work primarily with small businesses, 0 to 6 employees, when I was actually working. And I told everybody, look, tell everybody, yes, yes, yes. I'll do whatever you want, as long as Dr. Chris says so. See, if he says so, no problems at all. Check with him first. The aggravation stopped right then and there. Because nobody bothered to check with me.
Okay.
Because they knew they were going to get a no.
Okay.
So they quit aggravating the poor person now.
Okay.
Finding that person who can do that for you.
Okay.
It's going to be difficult.
Okay. So they need to find somebody like yourself or a lawyer.
Blame it on, yeah.
Yeah, somebody they can blame it on to make their life a little bit less stressful after all that.
A little bit less stressful. I'd like to help, but this person take care of everything. I really can't do anything at all.
Okay.
If they say so, no problem at all.
Okay. Okay. So
why fight?
What do you think is the thing families find out too late?
The thing they find out really too late is that nobody sees this coming at all. Nobody saw this thing coming at all. It creeps, a little bit of a creep. Every day, every month, every phone call. Something's just a little bit off. And you don't exactly know what goes on with it. And then when the money gets involved, you're going to try and find some outside advisor to help along the way. Mm-hmm. I don't do those things at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm way too old. I'm retired. I enjoy myself. I've got a place in Delaware right by the water. It's lovely. But what do you do as the caregiver now? Mm-hmm. You want to find some type of outside help. Mm-hmm. And it's important to do that and to pull somebody in. Okay. And there are tons of people that will call themselves financial advisors. Mm-hmm. And you want to pull at least one of those people in. They're going to be cheaper than attorneys generally.
Okay.
They'll give you tons of advice. Not exactly legal advice.
Okay.
But they'll give you tons of advice. They don't charge you by the hour. But you have to watch these people because, again, if the industry is set up to self-perpetuate.
Okay.
Are they really working for you or are they working for themselves? And that's a hard thing to do.
So
it's a hard thing to find.
How can somebody protect themselves so that they're finding somebody who's legit and have the legit credentials? What should they look for?
Okay. There's a government site, broker check. In fact, I'd like to offer your folks something free at this point in time. If they go to drrousenow.com/check, mm-hmm. I'll give them a free cheat sheet, basically.
Okay.
6 points on here where they can go and they can ask somebody point blank, are you working for me or working for yourself?
Okay.
How are you getting paid? Now, it's free. It's just sign up, put your email in, you can download it, no big deal. And I'll give you the link afterwards. Make sure it's in your show notes.
Okay.
But it's a great little thing. It's an easy way to find out if somebody's actually working for you or not.
Okay.
Because it's a government-run site. It's free. There's nothing to sign up for. And you can check any financial advisor you want.
Okay.
Put their name in, put their numbers in. Right? Pulls up all the problems. Any disclosure problems? Right there. Okay. So you know exactly what goes on. Watch insurance agents that call themselves financial planners. Because the insurance agent just is an insurance agent.
Okay.
Whatever they do, they're going to say some type of insurance. There aren't too many insurance agents at this point in time. Most of them are brokers to some degree, handling stocks, mutual funds, and or life insurance. And they love long-term care insurance. Big commissions and that stuff for them.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong with long-term care insurance, but do you really need it or not?
Right.
Okay. Just like the numbers say. And they will always have numbers that make it look like, well, you're gonna die and you need this long-term care insurance because you're not going to exactly die, but it's really important to have this long-term care insurance. And you have to make your own judgments on that.
Okay.
That's why I quit selling products years ago. It was like walking in an alligator swamp. You knew you're going to get bit, just didn't know how much.
Okay. Well, yes, we will put that in the show notes because that's very helpful for all of our listeners because it is very overwhelming. The caregiving part and then the financial part, it's a lot to handle. It really is. For it. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Fred, for being with us today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the time, and hopefully it helps some of your folks. I understand where they're at. It's a very difficult position to be in, and if I can help in any way, shape, or form, I'm glad to. They pretty much need somebody. I can guide them back and forth across things, but they need somebody there who understands their situation. That's going to work with them on a one-on-one basis. And I don't do those things anymore. I can help, in different areas, but I can point out where the problems are going to be, so you at least know what to look for ahead of time.
Well, that is very helpful, just that, because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. Well, thank you so much. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this edition of Patty's Place. Make sure you leave us a review, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoyed your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, or that glass of wine, and please join us for another edition of Patty's Place.